Good afternoon, D&D TikTok and barbecue TikTok and beyond, and welcome to Roll for Barbecue. Let's get it done. It's a new background today. We're working out of our new barbecue studio, and let's see what type of dice we're using today. And we've chosen our Loki dice. As always, this series is inspired by the popular Roll for Sandwich series by AdventuresinAardia. The dice have been tossed, and now it's time to roll for meat. 10, we got the freezer wheel. This idea came to the channel from the How to Barbecue Right podcast. Let's see what we're getting out of the freezer today. And it looks like we've jumped onto beef ribs. This is going to be a good one. We got our beef ribs pulled out of the freezer and thawed. Of course, inspect both sides and do any necessary trimming as needed. It's time to roll for binder. And we got no binder on these ones. It's only happened a couple times. Sorry, guys. All right, let's go ahead and roll for rubs. 8 killer hogs and 13 hardcore carnivore. We have 12 killer hogs rubs. Let's see which one we get. And we've got the steak rub. Of course, this is great on steak, but I find it works really well on chicken as well. It has that salt, pepper, garlic, and onion profile that everybody loves on a steak. You know, unless you hate freedom or something. Anyways, we're going to hit it with some hardcore carnivore black because that's all I have. This not only gives us a nice charcoal-looking color, it really adds to the bark. We're going to let these rest for about 15 minutes before throwing them onto the grill. And now it's time to roll for wood. 2 cherry wood. We were going to roll for grill, but it's a perfect opportunity to get out from under the porch and finally put the grills out on the driveway. So for this week, we're going to be using Big Red. We're smoking these at about 250 degrees until they hit an internal temperature of 203 degrees internal. These ones didn't take very long at all, maybe about 3.5 hours. I pulled these off the grill and let them rest for about 20 minutes under some foil. From there, it's time to roll Wild Magic. 11, lemon squeeze. Wait a minute. Lemons! We've got a rested segment of beef ribs. We're going to go ahead and squeeze some lemon on there, and I don't think it was enough. There we go. We'll add a little more just for good measure. All right, let's click those tongs. It's time for the D20 sauce roll. 18, a blind sauce fridge. This is the first time we've rolled this. We're going to roll for the shelf that we're pulling from. And we got the second shelf. We had Mrs. Barbecue rearrange the shelves, and I'm going to go in there completely blind. Again, we're operating off the second shelf, and we've selected Frank's Red Hot Dill Pickle. Now, real talk, I'm not a fan of putting hot sauce on my ribs. I much prefer the smoke and the seasoning profiles we've added. Of course, we're going to put that all over the ribs and admire that cross-section. The smoke ring on this is insane, but as always, looks could be deceiving. How do they taste? Here we go. Okay, flavor profiles will always be weird to me. Sometimes different flavor profiles will all work together nicely. Then in this situation, you taste all the individual ingredients separately. Don't get me wrong, the hot sauce and the citrus are adding some good flavors to this, but I think it's hiding the true potential of the flavor. So I think we need a solo bite. Of course, we have to admire the juiciness and the smoke ring on this. Without the lemons and Frank's Red Hot, these are solid ribs. That's why you gotta be careful about what you add to your ribs. But that's not how we score things around here. So, with everything together, I'm going to give it a 7.6 out of 10. And we're going to call this one Sasso's Delight. And just like that, folks, that's episode 108. Be sure to like, follow, share, and subscribe. And as always, we'll see you guys at the next barbecue.